Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals day of the Team Mahi Community Cup, powered by Corsair and Zotac Gaming, with Hive as our merchandise partner. We're back with a bang for this finals day. It's going to be the semi-final stream, followed by the grand finals itself. And in every single stream, you're going to get a chance to win goodies, so make sure you stick around. Now, going into this semi-finals, we have two for the day. Rexdreams, I know I'm really excited. We had an amazing set of matches. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. I'm really excited for this first semifinals that's coming up right now. Rebellious Gaming versus Yoda Esports. We saw extremely dominating performances coming out from both of those teams. Rebellious, taking down Live Official Esports. It was, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
and Yoda Esports. Who did they take down? I'm a bit weak on with my memory, so I don't remember who they beat. But they had an extremely strong game on split as well. I remember that game with Senpai
Oh.
leading the charge with the rest of the team just chiming in with their utility. So I'm really excited to see how both of these, a bit of these, both teams are a bit on the aggressive side. If you look at the gameplay, I'm really excited to see how that pans out today.
Yeah, the Clone versus Senpai matchup going to be really nice to see. We'll see who ends up coming out on top. We do have Bind, I believe, for this map, so
Yep.
that'll be really interesting. Not a map we've got to cast so far in this tournament, so we'll see what teams bring out. Now, as I said, guys, the goodies that you get, remember, it's going to be a jersey for every stream. So in the semi-final streams, we'll give you one jersey. In the grand final stream, we'll give you one jersey and a bunch of giveaways. You can check it out down in the description. There's some on our Instagram, some on our Twitter, and you can go follow everywhere. And if you want some brownie points, make sure you share that stream and tag at official team Mahi so we know that you're sharing the stream. Just go show it to all of your friends. Really bring all of the community to watch this community cup. Now, what I'm really excited about going into this matchup, as I mentioned, besides that clone Senpai matchup, Senpai, though he did play that race last time we saw him, I'm not going to be able to take off the fact that he played the Sky in the previous maps.
Yep,
And
true.
Bind, I think, one of the strongest maps for that Sky. So I'm curious to see if that does end up coming out.
Yep. Bind definitely saw a lot of, has been seeing a lot of Sky gameplay. Like Right to Ace himself picked up the Sky over the
Yeah.
Sova on Bind yesterday in Bind against paratroops, and yeah, it's really interesting to see that agent coming through because like she's a little bit of everything, right? Like on Bind, we've seen the power of the Breach and the Jet combo coming out from SK Rossi and Hellranger, where they use those flashes to take essential map control and just exploit the rest of the map. But we also know how important the Sova is because of how much utility and map control you can take based on his abilities, like the drone to clear out so many angles, the recon to take map control is a lot easier to play around if you have a Sova on Bind, and the healing is just an additional factor, and who wouldn't like that coming out themselves. So yeah, it allows you to change a lot of your playstyle around it. So it's a little bit interesting to see teams now catching up to it, especially in India, catching up with the meta that we've seen evolve a bit in North America and other regions.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I straight up just lost my shit when I saw that Sky come out for right to Ace or Team I. Where like a question from whether or not Team I can be stronger bind to like seeing that Sky come out, it just made me really ecstatic to see once again it was them leading the charge. But coming back to the Community Cup, as you said, it really is nice to see teams once again picking up the meta that might not necessarily be standard for India itself, rather looking to the foreign organizations and looking towards the trend-setting teams. And now looking at this screen, like I see Brimstones on both sides, very important agent, considering that you on Bind, basically there's very less of a debate over that Brimstone versus that Omen. The ult can be so damn good. So it's nice to see both of the teams are ready to pick that up. It is going to be Markelov on that Brimstone on the side of Rebellious, Bianchi on the Phoenix. Not something we get to see a lot. On the side of you're the esports though, I see the Breach picked already, and that's a bit of a question mark for me. Talk to me more about that pick.
Yeah, so this is not the first time we've seen Nightseeker play into the Breach. In his previous games, we saw him play the Breach as well. On Split, we saw him going for the Breach as well. So yeah, I do understand why the Breach pick would come through. And in a lot of elements, like if you look at the Breach pick, it's kind of like the Brimstone pick. Like it helps you take essential map control based on the flashes, clear out angles using your aftershocks, and things like that. Talking about the rest of the picks, the race has kind of been a staple pick on this map, and there's nothing to like print about that. We always see the race coming in by most teams because of how many choke corners that are that you can clear out. Both teams opting in for the Cypher, their center of choice, not going in for the Killjoy. What do you think about that? Are you more of a fan of a Killjoy or a Cypher on this particular map?
I think Bind especially, it's one of the maps where I'm okay with teams picking up either the Killjoy or the Cypher, mainly because like I think they both offer different utility. The Cypher, he offers you the ability to go for very early rotations by leaving your utility on one side, while the Killjoy, she just offers a lot more damage in terms of how she's able to deny the site and the re-peaks you can get with the turrets as well as the lockdown utility at the end of the day, the significance of being able to push in, especially on the attack, that lockdown can be a key difference to start pushing through. And considering that Bind, it's much, much harder on the attack than it is on the defense, it does become really important for that teams. But I see both of these teams, they want much more just standard plays, and you go for that Cypher, so it just communication throughout the team becomes that tad bit easier. But for me, the standout thing, as you mentioned, even though Nightseeker, he's played a lot of Breach, we saw him yesterday doing so as well. It means that this Breach being picked up, there's no Sova on Bind. I think Sova one of the strongest agents on Bind because of the recon board and the Hunter Fury being so strong. We'll see how Yoda plays around it. For now, though, it is going to be Rebellious on the attack, Yoda on the defense. Rebellious trying to take the shot control, but with the help of the Boombot, already the Brimstone for the side of Yoda. Walnut Mind, he's made his way into the TP. Now he's holding them down, looking for the peaks. Is Markelov going to find the first onto Marty, though? And now the drone, Markelov not being... allowing any space for the opposition Brimstone to move whatsoever, meaning that player just stuck in the TP as the rest of Rebellious. Now with the first blood, they're gonna find the rotation onto A.
Yep, now they've gone in for this A side. U-Haul control is low and he's just walked in right there, but the counter boom bot is gonna drive him away from there. Spike plant went delayed for quick as the Brimstone utility, as the Brimstone Molotov will delay that. But now Senpai though, he's lurking inside the smoke and no one knows about him because he's in prime position to completely switch this round around. Just like that, Nightseeker and Walnut Mine, they're gonna strike with one, and from the shadow, Senpai is gonna come out, do a lot of damage, finally connects out the kill. And now it's an easy round coming in for these guys on Yota Esports. Spike is going to be tapped, but Clone, he wants to change things around that, and he's going to get the first kill. The hot hands coming towards the Spike, that's going to do damage as well. Senpai, he gets the kill onto Clone. Yankee strikes with one, and Paper Cut finally gets him. A lot of damage done, but the round's still going around towards Yota Esports, who hold on towards the A side.
A really strong hold. They were down a man when Rebellious went for the push, and even though Rebellious able to get the plant, they pay heavily for that. The punishment from Yoda, meaning that even in a 4v5 situation, they're the ones who secure the first pistol round. Make sure to start out strong on that defensive side. It's going to be really important as well, because I do think more than the attack, the Sova really does come out useful in the defensive side, when you're able to get so much information and use those shock darts in those narrow corridors to delay so much. So with the breach, if you're able to execute a really strong defensive half, then going into the attack, you feel that tad bit more comfortable when you have those proactive flash utility to try and make your plays. Now, what I want to see from Yoda though is something that we noted from them yesterday, like the characteristic play, we are going to push, we are going to make plays and just be very proactive in general. Now that they have the buys, they have the opportunity to do that. 5 Spectres in full shield, the perfect showing off that full buy. But Tchaikovsky, he don't care, pulls out a pistol, gets an easy kill, and now with once again an advantage, they're going to try to push it. But Nightseeker, he has his Spectres ready, and those Spectres, they make all the difference in the world.
9 seconds, Senpai just gonna clean it up. Senpai chimes in with his second, and now he's just down to Jack with the classic Cannot Dream. But he's gonna quickly make his way towards the B side, maybe try and secure the plant. That will just help them with an extra 300 credits coming into the next buy round. But the tripwire is gonna make things that much harder. Taps the spike, Marty's there to cut him right off, and he's gonna get the kill. Denies the plant as well, 2-0 as Yota Esports cement the lead just defensively.
A nice lead picked up for Yoda Esports. They're able to, even though they lose that first kill, they're able to use the better weaponry to their advantage, get the kills through, and then push forward on the basis of that, secure the round as a whole. Now, for Rebellious, that last round was their buy round. So now I'm going to see if they can try to use the better weaponry that they have to try and make a push through. Now, I'm seeing we get to see this really nice above view of this Bind map. And a small fun fact for all of the viewers who didn't know, Bind is actually the hometown of this Cypher pick that we're seeing on both sides. He's originally from this city. Every time you pop into the game, he's like, look at what Kingdom has done to my city, which is the corporation, which is what all the rebuilding you see that this corporation is doing. But now back into the game, the molly and the grenade used really proactively to try and get some damage done, and they cause a lot of damage. Clone taking the boombot to his face as well, meaning Rebellious, they've eaten a lot of utility, but still they're the ones able to find the first blood. It's Bianchi starting us off, and now with the split approach, Rebellious looking to attack on multiple fronts.
Senpai though, he's gonna chime in with one, even out the game. But now we're back to 4v4. But the HP advantage definitely leaning towards the other esports, given how low Clone has become, given the early engagement he took. But they still do have only Spectres to work with, 3 Spectres and that 1 Phantom that they had upgraded into, with the rest of them just on Spectres. Now the B hit is coming through as the Sova is walked cautiously, looking to see if he can get the kill onto the second player. Tchaikovsky lands a beautiful shot onto Paper Cut, and he's going to walk right into elbow and take CD control to cut off the rotation. Senpai though, he's trying to walk into hookah, but Clone, he's the smarter one, and he's expecting exactly that's going to get the kill. And now it's just down to Nightseeker. Not able to work with in this round, but nothing he can do as he's stuck between a rock and a hard place as Clone and Tchaikovsky just come in and clear him out from both sides.
Yeah, a nice round picked up for Rebellious Gaming. They're able to use the full buy and just make sure. What I really like about the round, what they're able to do is make sure that not many people end up dying, which means a lot of eco damage done to them. They can carry on to the next round, look to stabilize their economy and push forward on the attack on basis of that. And that brings me to like the perennial question of bind, which is like, is it better on defense or attack? Because if you go into a solo queue match, the answer is always defense. But I think when you come into this competitive 5v5 settings, it does start to change a little bit because teams, they know how to be proactive.
Yep. In my opinion, like the map bind, right, the way it's structured, it's not the fanciest map. So, in my opinion, bind becomes a lot more about map control above everything. So, like when you see, like let's talking about the map. Like if you look at the map in general, like the most important areas of control on the A side, the showers and U-haul as an attacker or a defender, right? If you have control of either U-haul or shower or both, you highly increase your chances of winning that particular round because you just have so much more map control than your teammates. Like it's that much easier for you to control the map. And the same, look at the B side, right? If you have control, let's say elbow or maybe even B long, that's so much easier. You can cut off so many rotations using the B long control if your team is executing towards the A side. So it's so much easier for you to play the map just based on map control, and that's why we see like the SOA becoming so important. And whenever we play this map, you realize that like one of the most common strategies is to use the SOA recon to take out shower control and just work around that. That's what they have. So you cut off the external parts of the map, so you can control the internal part of the map in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just the idea for the attackers as well. Like this is why we really like the Brimstone, because of his ability to clear out those niche corners and just deny that control from the attackers, or even when he's on the defense, when he's on the attack, from the defenders as a whole. And that's why he becomes so strong. If you get the orbital strike, being able to ult out lamps while you go for an aggressive push makes him just way better than the Omen on that particular map. So I want to see teams doing a lot more of that map control you mentioned, because so far I see Rebellious, they are trying to do that in the sense that they're able to continuously find the first bloods, but they're not really getting contested. Now Yankee with his running back, a really nice tool, doing exactly that, taking control of that lamps area, allowing Clone to push in aggressively. Jackie finding one, and now Clone through the lamps, he's gonna find another. Rebellious, they lost the first two rounds, but ever since they've got the bye, they've been on a roll and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Yep, now it's just down to paper cut in this 1v4 situation. Just trying to see if you can get a few exit frags, maybe damage the economy potentially, so that it's much harder for them to get the ball rolling. But Rebellious though, doesn't look like they're gonna bite, but Vyanki though is definitely doing this. He can get the kill here. Paper cut's gonna land a good shot onto him. Clone though is gonna aggress out here, and he's gonna get the kill though. 3k for Clone coming in this round, and a 2k for Jackie as they seal the deal for the Rebellious Gaming. The 5th round on the attack.
I mean, at this point, for the side of Yoda Esports, the eco really starting to hurt. They're going to be put into a situation ki like, abhi buy karo, yeah, do you go for the eco as a whole? Because if you do go for the buys, you end up having to buy a couple of light shields, but at the same time, on the defensive side, you never want to be put into a position where the eco of the attackers is snowballing, because it just gives them a lot more options, allows them to play a lot more aggressively and look for the control across the maps. Now, back to our conversation about the areas of control, right? What I particularly like about the way Blind is structured too is the positions of those ult points. It's in a perfect place for both attackers and defenders to easily contest it, and getting those ult points can make a huge difference. You see Rebellious, they're spreading out. Clone, even though he's denied this A-shot control with the showstopper, he picks up one, and Yankee with one on the other side, meaning Rebellious on all fronts. They're winning every single duel. All of Yoda Esports, they've left their defensive corners trying to go for a proactive play, but Rebellious just punished them hard. The eco rush for Yoda Esports not working out whatsoever.
Yep, this is a good run coming in from Rebellious Gaming. Even though there was a slight investment coming out for them, from Yoda Esports, not the biggest, and we see them now picking up the operator. The operator was something we didn't really see in a lot of the matchups coming out yesterday, because teams just shied away from that, even though we saw Ascent a lot. But now we see the operator, and this time around the operator is not on the jet, as both teams have opted away from the jet. What do you think about that? Do you think like the Raze suits the style of playing with an operator, or do you think it's not the best pick, best agent to have the operator on?
I think the operator, it's something that you can only get when you have that snowball eco going on. And as you said, that jet just makes it much easier to get it, considering that neither of those teams have the jet. And like we rarely saw the operator for like a couple of teams towards that Ascent map particularly. I'm leaning towards saying that these teams, they're just not as comfortable with that risky investment, because in the semi-finals they don't want to make a single mistake whatsoever, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be able to take that risk, because the greater the risk, the greater the rewards you'll be able to reap by getting those single kills. Like the operator essentially functioning as the pseudo sentinel, the way it's able to hold down an angle. Now the orbital strike coming down for Yoda does not yield much fruit, and while VALORANT might able to get one, Bianchi with the return kill on another, meaning it's once again 4v3 on the map. Yoda, they have the advantage, but they're really low on health, and now Papercut, he's gonna get one. Markelov though with his own orbital strike, he shows how it's done. Brings out the Hellfire, and with one kill in his name, Psychowski with another. Now it's 2v2. The smoke's coming down as Psychowski and Markelov, they're going to take B-side control. Markelov should be able to get the plant down, but the Showstopper ready for Senpai. He's going to go in aggressively. Not able to find the kill. Gets tagged down really low. Senpai caught on all guards. His teammate helps him with the blind, but Psychowski, he'll take him down. And now Marty left in a 1v1 as he finds another kill. Now Marty versus Psychowski, both players that we have to look out for. They're looking for the kills. Marty is pushing in aggressively, but Psychowski only has 6 bullets, cannot miss. Does end up missing, and Marty, he does not. Finds the headshot and the round for Yoda Esports.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a funny round going on there. They do manage to recover the operator in the end, so all's good as they can, as they save the partial amount of the investment there. The decision to go in aggressive from Senpai not really working out, as a showstopper misses the mark, and Psychowski wasn't able to convert the kill there as well onto him. But yeah, in the end, the run goes into them 4-3 as they're trying to, as Yoda Esports trying to level things back on this defensive half.
Yeah, 4-3, really good round for Yoda Esports picked up, especially since at the end of it, Marty was able to pick up the operator, get it into the hands of that Senpai. And I have to ask you, what do you think? Like, without that jet, you rarely see the operator, and this is why. Because players like Lone, they just take the insta peek with the pre-fire ready, take this opponent opposition operator down, and just get such a huge advantage for their team. Once again, Clone, very aggressive push. We saw this a lot from him yesterday.
Yep. Ooh, he challenges the A side alone. He's gonna get one before Walnut Man trades him out. Now it's the 3v3 situation, while the rest of his teammates are gonna make way towards the B side. Nightseeker playing this under the position in a crossfire with his player from elbow, but Jackie is gonna spot him and he's gonna get the kill. A Sova ultimate coming out perfectly from Psychowski. He's gonna chime in with one kill. Now it's just down to Walnut Man in this 1v3 situation. Now, and there's nothing much he can do except he's just trying opting in for a few exit kills, or maybe get a save off to save this rifle for the next round. That's exactly what they're gonna do. But there's nothing much he has to do anyway. So talking about the round, does manage to get the operator, but just really well executed by Rebellious Gaming. Like just earlier on, they just enter in the 4v5 with Clone landing a beautiful shot onto the defense, like towards the player holding from the defensive barrier. But then after that, even though the trades come in and the Cypher ultimate come in, like once, even though there's a man in the disadvantage has been secured, and you are still in a 4v4, Rebellious Gaming do a superb job of of sealing the deal in the rest of the round.
Yeah, like the way Clone able to just create so much pressure. He's like, "Main ghusunga, bas. I don't care. I will just look straight and main ghusunga." Again and again, he just goes in, finds just instantaneous headshots. There is no gap with it because he knows his crosshair placement on point. Finding those kills is so helpful for his team because he creates a lot of pressure, and even though he's not directly entry fragging in the side that the team is pushing, the pressure he's causing down at one side enables his team to aggressively take control of another, pick up that round for themselves. Such an important factor, being on the attack to be able to take the lead, because going into the defense, I know for a fact that Rebellious, they're bound to be comfortable.
Yep, that's exactly true. Now they're gonna work a small buy around this operator with Walnut Mind, with the Bucky and a Stinger to go with it, while the rest of the team just saves up for a next round buy. 3 members holding towards a side, while Rebellious are going in for a more spread out angle, and just to say that Clone's gonna get Marty, and Senpai does manage to get the instantaneous trade, the 4v4 for them. And yeah, while the rest of Rebellious are trying to make their way into the B side with the drone coming in. That's gonna spot out first player towards the elbow position. Papercut, he hasn't been revealed yet, but this camera's gonna get taken down, and that's gonna bait out the rotation towards this B side, and that's exactly what everyone is. Bianchi though does pop out that Phoenix ultimate in order to take side control, and he's gonna use the flash perfectly, gets the kill onto Nightseeker. There's the member on the backside, Jackie, he's gonna take down Papercut. and now it's just 2v4. It looks like they will. Would they try and save the operator for the next round again so that they can give it back to Senpai who was using it, or would you go in and try and do some more economic damage?
I mean, this is where like one of the biggest issues of having the operator comes into play, because you want to save it as much as possible, yet at the same time you're giving up an entire round to save it, and you have to start wondering at which point do you make one decision or the other. That like sort of confusion can cause a lot of disturbance within the team, and if you not able to get as much value of the operator, then I do think you have to stop trying to prioritize that much. Now in this particular round, they do not have the time whatsoever, so the save definitely makes sense. But considering that Senpai, he's not able to do as much damage as you could necessarily want from an operator, if in this coming up next round they're not able to make it work, then I think they have to start prioritizing the rounds. Try to damage Rebellious wherever you can, whenever you can, rather than saving your own economy as possible. At this point though, like for the side of Yoda Esports, this will be the last buy. They won't be able to afford another buy if they do end up losing this. So I do want to ask you, like, where do you think things are really going wrong? I think the lack of the info agent hurting a little bit, but it's like, where else do you think Yoda could change up their play to try and pull it back here?
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that you don't have the Sova, like the retakes are definitely going to be a lot harder for you. Given the fact that you cannot like reveal where they're holding, so you're gonna it's a lot more manual in terms of clearing out spots. Though, just to say that Marty's going to get the kill onto Tchaikovsky. Clone though chimes in with his nade. Vyanki's going to get another one, and that's the A site opened up for business as the rest of the 3 players are on this rotation with the walnut man with the operator in the teleporter stuck there, and Jackie's just gonna let him hold out the angle. The spike not yet making its way towards the site, slowly inching in there. And Clone, he's gonna be in a bit of a weird battle there with Paper Cut. Does win it out in the end and takes him down to Paper Cut is down to 30 HP now. And this finally going down, but look at the HP coming out on Yoda Esports. The Breach ultimate popped in, but let's see if they can capitalize on that. Vyanki though not affected by it at all, is going to take the Night Seeker, and now he knows about Paper Cut, but Paper Cut catches him on the reload and is going to get the kill there. Now a 2v2 situation though coming right in. But Jackie though, he's there perfectly positioned to take down Paper Cut. Now Wallet Mine down to 33 HP. Does he have what it takes to pull this one out? They haven't heard him, so he's gonna get one. But Jackie in his position, he's just staying there. He's gonna get himself the kill. 7-3 as Rebellious Gaming kind of running away with this one.
Yeah, Rebellious now, they're starting to get really dominant with the way they're closing out the rounds. It comes in the particular round itself, it comes very, very close, because Yoda, they give a good fight, but at the end of the day, the edge of consistency, like the idea ki Rebellious, they're doing the same thing, that they understand like the very basics and the foundations of the decisions they're making are just a teensy bit better than that for Yoda Esports. As you said, for retakes as well, or just for general site hold, having that breach not helping so far. So we'll see if Yoda, they continue to be proactive, try to use that breach to their advantage. But for now, Senpai, he's able to pick up the first kill, really punish Clone for his repeated aggressive peaks. This is going to be really important, because now, with that pressure point down for Rebellious Esports, this is a perfect chance for Yoda to fight back, try and pull it back, get us to a 7-5 score line perhaps. You can see Walnut, he's going to pick up another. This A-shot defense holding up brilliantly for Yoda, forcing Rebellious to walk into this B side, into the hands of the Cypher. Ooh.
Just to say that the Vyanki is going to find himself another. He's done a lot of damage to Marty, who's down to 69 HP right now. And yeah, but the rest of Rebellious Gaming are trying to make their way towards this B side. Marklov with that Crimson Molotov is going to chime in as well. Paper Cut on this B side. Lone Man standing is not going to get anything done. Does do a lot of damage. So 3v2 retake is definitely possible on the back of this Empress onto Marty. Now they're getting into the positions, but look at Rebellious Gaming, how far back they decided to play this one. Hook, B long, and just the lone member playing out towards that B side. They do understand that they do have the HP disadvantages and are trying to play far away, but just as that, Marklov's gonna get a kill from the silver position onto Marty, just leaving it all down to Senpai in this 1v2. Spots out Vyanki, and that's gonna be that. Even that much easier coming for him into this retake, but this drone from Tchaikovsky though doesn't manage to tag him, but he's revealed that he's on side. He's gonna land a beautiful shot onto Senpai. The nade is gonna be perfect to make sure that Tchaikovsky doesn't push this one, and that's gonna let him get half the defuse in. He's not gonna go in for half the defuse though, but Tchaikovsky, even though he's on a slither of HP, he's gonna land a beautiful shot there, and take down Sent by 8-3.
Last round before the switch.
As Rebellious Gaming just are not being countered by Yoda Esports here.
Yeah, that round might break the morale of Yoda Esports a little bit because for the side of Yoda, they had a two-man advantage going into that round, and
Yep.
Bianchi, he was able to neutralize a bit of that by getting the kills, but the rotation not being punished at all, like the discipline not holding strong for Yoda, and then towards the end, Senpai, he had his ult as well, the ult not coming in meant that Rebellious able to pick up the round. It's really gonna hurt them. Now both of the Brimstones, they're gonna pull out their orbital strikes, and the orbital strike for both of them not really yielding much fruit, but a lot of damage done to Rebellious Esports now. They are able to get a lot of control though. Bianchi holding down U-Halls, he's gonna pick up one kill, but Marty with the return. Now Bianchi with the running back, gonna push in aggressively to A side, all this to cause a distraction for Tchaikovsky, who's moving down B. Bianchi with the van, and then picks up the Sheriff. What were those one taps? Just demolishes all of Yoda Esports, forces Paper Cut, the last man standing, to stay on this A side. And while Paper Cut is able to pick up a kill, he's going to be left in a 1v2 situation. Now Paper Cut knows exactly where Rebellious Gaming are, will try to take down that recon bolt, but I think he inherently just ended up revealing his position and now gonna try to go into lamps with this crossfire setup. He'll find one, but walks into Bianchi with his back turned. That's 9-3 for Rebellious Gaming.
Bianchi though had some really good shots. The Sheriff on the run it back, and with the Vandal, they just held them closer. They run 9-3 despite winning the pistol round for Yoda Esports. That's a bit of an embarrassing half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not ideal whatsoever. Like considering that once you get the pistol and the anti-eco through, you want to try and push at least to like 5 rounds. In a particular half, but when it's on the defense of Bind, you ideally want the lead because going into the attack is gonna get very difficult. But hey, they do have that breach, so maybe they will be a little more comfortable in the attack with the aggressiveness that Senpai showed us yesterday, facilitated by the flashes setup for breach. So we'll see if they're able to pull it through and give us a comeback for the cards.
Now we are seeing this B-side push coming in from Yoda Esports, but just say that Bianchi though with his flash, he's gonna peek right around the corner, get himself one. Ooh, but he goes in like for the over-aggression, gets a little bit greedy, he's gonna get taken down though. Senpai strikes in with one, Markelov though towards that octagon position, he's gonna find himself 2 kills right there. But Senpai though, he's made himself onto site, and that he can use this to cut off the rotation, lands a beautiful shot onto Tchaikovsky. Now just down to Clone in this 1v2 situation. And if there's anyone you want in these situations, it's Clone.
Spike planted.
Let's go.
Clone.
This round's gonna be that much harder for him as he gets spotted out by the Cypher camera. Manages to land a good shot there. And now does he know where the last member is playing though? Spots it out towards the CT position now. Can he do what it takes to win this round? Goes in for this aggressive fight and he's gonna win that award now. Senpai lands a beautiful headshot there. 10-3 Rebellious Gaming. Clone. He stands up when he's needed the most.
Clone, that was such a risky play, going for the aggressive satchel into Senpai, but hey, totally understand it. It's about that surprise factor, right? Being able to surprise just Senpai as a whole. Senpai, as soon as he peaked, you could see he was expecting Clone to be somewhere near the spike with the crosshair placement there, going for the aggressive play, not really giving him enough time to react to the audio cue of that satchel, meaning that Clone is the one able to use his reactions to his advantage, and we've seen how good his reactions are. Getting that easy headshot, like Clone picking up that pistol round for Rebellious Gaming. He has 19 kills to his name. He's been on fire. Make that 20. Clone now pushing in aggressively. It's the buy round for Rebellious, and they're just obliterating Yoda Esports.
Yoda Esports also opted for the first by we saw the Spectres, the Light Armor, and the Stingers coming out for them, but that's been demolished completely. It's now just down 2v4, make that a 1v4 and make that nothing coming around the round. 11-3 Tchaikovsky and Co. They're just gonna run away with this one. Looks like a quick map coming out for us now.
Need a drop.
Yeah, this map is gonna be relatively quick, but hey, we are getting to see a lot of nice shots and a lot of just top tier gameplay from both sides. Make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying it. Really shows your support, and share it with your friends. Tag us on the Instagram or Twitter, wherever you're sharing it, so that we get the idea of that too. But this aggressive gameplay from Rebellious Gaming. Damn, it looks like they're ready to get into the grand finals ASAP, and they want that prize right here, right now. Yoda Esports, they really, gonna have to show up right now if they want to pull it back. Like, as their name suggests, they're gonna have to make this a full-on war and come out in the ditches to make it their very best. Now you can see the Molly coming out for both of the sides as Yoda, they're trying to take control of this elbow area, trying to get into the B side, but the tube being played by Tchaikovsky and Markelov holding down one angle. It's Tchaikovsky, Markelov, and Jackie picking up the kills. Yoda just denied completely, and this is their buy round, so it's not looking so great right now for Yoda Esports.
Look at how aggressive they are right now. They're going to push exactly into the shower angle, and Tchaikovsky is there to protect his member. Is there to protect Bianchi, and they're going to get the kill. 12-3 as they're now on match point, and they're just ready to move into the finals. They're like, all right, let's finish this one. The finals are waiting for us.
Yeah, and Rebellious just like, guys, I want to play that best of 3. I want to like make our mark, establish ourselves as the winner of the first team Mahi Community Cup, and just make sure that the team remember that it was Rebellious. We'll see though. Yoda, they still have a chance to pull off a comeback, but with the lighter weaponry, it is going to be an extremely difficult task. But hey, as you expect, Senpai is on top of that leaderboard, so he's doing really well for himself. He was that top fragger even yesterday. Now he's going to try to make a mark as Yoda. They try to push into the Suka area, but the orbital strike coming down. Might even know where to go, get tagged a lot, and Night Seeker caught coming out of the back end by Bianchi in the teleporter. A beautiful push for Rebellious, pinching them on all sides. It's Bianchi picking up the triple, now downing the spike carrier. Tchaikovsky will take down Walnut on the other side, leaving Tchaikovsky in a 1v1 against Papercut with the spike on the literal opposite side of the map. This is the real question. Does Rebellious choose to guard the spike or go for the kills? Knowing Rebellious, I'm expecting them to go for the kills, but we'll see. They make the smart decision though. They're like, match point, guys, we want to get this done. Tchaikovsky, he takes the TP, and now they're just going to guard the spike.
Yep, no, Papercut doesn't have anything to work with, just one Cypher cage and his camera that he's placed up on this, above this truck. He's going to make his way towards CT, try to see if he can get a kill or two, but this match, it's more or less that unless Papercut can pull out something insane out of this, something absolutely magical. And Rebellious, they're just going to play at the time. They just know that they have the time, they have the utility to play with, and they have the spike for themselves in hooker. Let Papercut come to us, we need to go to him. And now, Papercut is low on the clock, nothing much he can do, so it's just like a really, really tough ask now. Though, okay, he's going to land a beautiful shot there now, but both members playing inside hookah. One drop down right now, he cannot win this certainly, and just as I say that, Markelov strikes in with this operator, and he's going to take down the last member. 13-3, totally demolishing Yoda Esports in this map.
Yeah, this was an utter, like, just, like the idea of how one team is able to just flex on the other for Rebellious Gaming. A nice try from Yoda Esports. They didn't make it all the way to the semi-finals in a 32-team tournament, so they were able to show that they're definitely a team with a lot of potential. It's just a matter of now trying to find the right amount of practice to hone that potential as much as possible. I want to see a lot more of Senpai especially, but like every single player of Yoda, Senpai, Papercut, Walnut, Marty, and Night Seeker, they deserve our praise. I hope to see more of them. For now though, Rebellious clone once again with 20 kills on fire.
Yeah, and these are doing clone things. 5 first bloods coming in. We've seen this man being so consistent with his entries. He consistently takes those aggressive gunfights and consistently win those. Bianchi though, not far behind with 19 kills to his name with 4 first bloods to go with that. So yeah, both duelists doing exactly that. And for me, one of the most interesting things coming out in this matchup is the no jet factor that we saw coming out from both sides, because we know how important of a pick jet has been in the current meta. And I guess the reason a team like Rebellious don't go in for the jet is because they just go ham with the Rays and the Phoenix. And yeah, and also they're a team that aren't really known for picking up the operator. Yeah, sure, you can have we saw Markelov picking up the operator a bit on the Brimstone, but not for much. We just saw it for like a few runs towards the end, and that's not a weapon he was consistently relying on. And even in the 1v1 situation when Jackie won that 1v1, he didn't pick up the operator, he didn't get it, but the operator, we never saw them operate on the attack. Yeah. So yeah, but on bind, do you think the no jet combo is worth it? Like, do you think that jet? Because I've read a lot about it. Because I've read a lot about how like you cannot make a case about jet. Like, she doesn't create that much space on bind as much as you can with other agents. But we can talk about that a little bit later.
Absolutely agree. I think like we've seen recently from teams to the utility focus meta. But hey, for now, this was Rebellious taking the cheese and the win. They're gonna make their way to the grand finals. We have one more semifinals coming up though, and that semifinals I'm sure is gonna be jam packed with action because either way, you have to make sure you're there at the end of it because that's where we will be giving that jersey to you guys, a free one for you to pick up. Just make sure you're on the stream and sharing the stream with your friends so they can make your way here too, a chance for you to get those extra bit of brownie points. For now, we will go set up. In the meantime, you can check out the links in the description below for all the social media of the Team Mahi and just go follow the Instagrams and the Twitters. Give yourselves a chance to participate in those socials. We'll go find ourselves in that map for really soon and see you there in the Team Mahi Community Cup powered by Corsair and Zotac Gaming with Hive as our merchandise partner. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TM Community Cup powered by Corsair and Zotac Gaming with Hive as our merchandise partner. We are in the semi-final stage here. In this second semi-final, it's going to be Aggressive joining me on the deck. How you doing, bro?
It is gonna be a long time coming. I wanted to come on earlier, but still was not able to due to some technical difficulties. But I am glad to be here. And now in the semi-final scene as well, it's gonna be one hectic game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a really enjoyable game coming into this map between Flamex, Serenity, and Purpose Esports. But before we get to the game itself, let me tell you what you guys, the viewers, have in store for you at the end of this map. Now, you want to make sure you share the stream because at the end of this map, we're going to do a giveaway for a free jersey of the Team Mahi official team. And you get a chance to just pick that up by being here and spamming one word in the chat. It's a battle of that Control C, Control V power, and we'll see if you can come out on top. Make sure you share it with your friends though, because every share you get and tag us at official Team Mahi tag, you get these extra brownie points and our love to boot. So get that done, and we'll see you with that free giveaway at the end. But now going back to the map, I do believe it's Ascent aggressive, and we saw Flamex Serenity on Ascent yesterday. They were nigh unstoppable vibe, especially on that race. So I'm expecting a very aggressive approach from them. But on the side of Purpose Esports, I'm seeing a lot of familiar names in Rival and Samira Kunji. So I'm sure this team, they have a couple of strats lined up.
When it comes to the map of Ascent, we have seen this over and over again that teams have defaulted to much more of the let's say the tried and true tested composition being the raise and being the jet, but at the same time that composition has a lot of flaws on its own, being the fact that you are much more one dimensional in the way you enter down into a sideline. It's a lot more rush execution heavy in comparison to, let's say, if there was a flash combination, you can just go in for a lot of those fake plays using the flash to take controls of pockets of the entire map and then just backing off and going on to another sideline, maybe rotating down onto A, B, or even through mid, using your flashes to take aggressive mid control and then just cutting off any rotation angle that the defenders could have. But with the race and jet combination, something that we have seen a lot more of the teams pick up, I'm really looking to see maybe I divergence from the set say usual composition, but at the same time, both of these teams, as you always said before, comfort is more important than meta. So let's see what they're going to be bringing down to the table.
Now, one person I had my eye on yesterday was Death Gods. He just had these really cool lineups set up. Like the lineups, I'm not really getting to see a lot from other teams in this tournament. And the fact that he was very comfortable on that Sova on Ascent was really, really important. So we'll see if he's going to pull out new lineups. On his counterpart, the Trolele on that Sova, just as good. So we'll see which Sova able to come out on top. I do think these teams are very well matched. So I think it might set us up for the first overtime of this tournament. Either ways, I am really excited. Maybe we'll even get to see a Sky, though I highly doubt that. But going into this map aggressive, I have to ask, like, where do you think, like, now we saw in the last map as well, no jet coming out. Like, do you think these teams are starting to run away from the jet, considering Ascent is basically just playground? Do you think we see that no jet composition or jet compositions?
I do believe that the no jet combination is much more of the likable comp, especially after a lot of the nerfs that were coming onto jet. Only players that are extremely confident in their jet capabilities are the ones who are actually picking up the jet anymore in general. This is mainly due to the fact that, first of all, her 7-second smokes are now 4.5 seconds, so you do not really have the luxury of hiding in your own smokes, and you need to be a lot more faster when it comes to your executions and when it comes to your strategies in general. And your team needs to be on the same page and coordinated all together when you're opting to go in for those jet rushes, or when you're opting to go into the site, let's say when you're rushing down onto A, normally before you could just throw out the 3 cloud bursts and block off all of the sight lines, let's say from generator, from the side of the radianite boxes, and also the right hand side cubby corner. You can just dash on in, you can use your smokes as cover while your team rushes on in behind you. Now it's a lot more difficult because you have a much more smaller window, 4.5 seconds, and as you're throwing out the 3 smokes, you're losing out on
Choose
2
your
seconds
agent.
already for the smoke time. So your team needs to be rushing in a lot more faster. And I do believe that that's why teams are just backing up a lot more.
Yeah, As you said, right, it really does come down to whether or not you're able to utilize that smaller window to perfection still. You see, for the side of Flamex Serenity, they're very much comfortable with this jet race composition, and it was a key factor of their play yesterday. We saw them on Ascent, the way they were able to continuously get the dry peaks, get the first bloods, and use them to translate into advantages where they really look to make their mark. But on the other side, Purpose with a very different approach, more the utility focus, more about trying to help each other get into these really niche corners, gain the pockets of control, and then play on the basis of that. Now, before we get into the map, I want to give a huge shout out to the entire team, Euphoria on the production, Satyaki, Navroz, Gaster, Pratiti, Rishabh, and Contra, all of us, for really setting up a brilliant tournament for you guys to come watch, play, and really have the breeding grounds, to be able to propel your potential esports career or just have some fun in the meantime. In this map, though, it will be the teams of Flamex, Serenity, and Purpose Esports trying to make their mark. I'm really excited to see both of them. But looking at these compositions, I once again start to notice a pattern, Aggressive. It's that Cypher coming out. Feels like maybe the Killjoy meta hasn't reached the community cups just yet.
Like, we saw this before at other tournaments. The Killjoy just adds a lot more of the dynamic presence on the map of Ascent. And what I really am looking forward to seeing a lot of the teams bring up that Killjoy for the main reason is actually her Molotovs. Like, the fact that her traps are just so strong. Like, you can get a lot of lineups on the map of Ascent. For example, there is one lineup on the top of my head, being the one near the side of A long. You can just hold it for the post plant, and then you can just throw the Molotovs from up top and then explode it before the enemy even has a chance to go in for that plant. That element of surprise that you can have, that basically acts like a Sova shock dart in a way, and that can just deny the plant completely for an entire 4 seconds. And this can be so clutch whenever you're holding down for those retake scenarios. And then let's say as the Molotov is raining on down, you can go in for the swing yourself, push yourself forward onto the side of A long, cause a lot of the footsteps, cause a lot of commotion to the side of your enemies. And this kind of dynamic play is not really possible with a Cypher who is relying much more on the lurk-based playstyles instead of the much more, let's say, trying something a bit more different. And I'm really hoping that these teams do catch on to that soon enough. But now this time around, it is going to be the Cypher nonetheless, with the Intel-based meta reigning supreme.
Yeah, the Cypher is much simpler for the teams to coordinate around. We did see a bit of a technical pause, but now with the timer going down and all of the players in the map connected, we're ready to go, ready to get started. Make sure you've liked the stream, hit that subscribe button, and share it, because there is that giveaway coming after the stream. But now directly going into this map, it's going to be the side of Purpose Esports on the attack and Flamex Serenity on the defensive. Cypher set up towards A site as they double stack this B leave vibe on that race to hold down the mid. Now the counter is in emote, throwing out the paint shell to clear out this catwalk angle. Was able to tag out Marco to a certain extent, but you see the Cypher just holding down the aggressive camera towards that B side, getting as much info as he can, while the rest of his team starts making their way into catwalk. Now it is going to be Marco versus 2. Marco, he'll take down rival, dash out to dead. Perfect usage of that jet already, getting a huge advantage, using that cloud burst to shield himself and the dash to get out of the way. It's Marco with first blood setting up the side of Flamex Serenity in this pistol round.
Now the Jet and the Omen are squaring off against one another. They can't see each other, but we can see them. And it seems as though Marco, his sixth sense is working. Someone has got to walk into the side of Garden already. It is gonna be the Omen holding down the sidelines for as long as he can, but still, this one fight is going to be extremely important. The Omen thinks that the side of Garden is clear. He's calling his team back onto this A side, but
30
now
seconds left.
Already one member has gone down. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. It's gonna be a fast smoke. It's gonna be Nemo instead, getting that one tap down on the Marco to take him out. It's gonna be fast execute down onto this A side, but still, he has the trap wires available, does spawn on one under the sofa, but the plan is still going to be going on down. Now in the 4 versus 4 situation, the retake is about to come on through, and he may just be fighting a bit more than he can chew as he's opting to go in for an aggressive peek of his own, but he's not gonna be able to spot out much. It's gonna be who instead getting the first initial kill down on the one. But but the Omen does find one more, and it's gonna be Who with a second, taking him out, and already the trades are coming out in Kid. Who with the triple kill, but Bola from the sidelines gets that kill down the line. He's probably gonna go to find it. He finds another headshot onto his own twin brother, but it's gonna be BK to take him out. And a beautiful intake coming out from the side of the defenders as well. The way they were able to swarm down into a side together, absolutely a treat to watch.
Yeah, Flaming Serenity on point to use the manpower to be able to push around the side. It's especially important considering that they don't have those flashes in their composition. They need to be on point with their coordination in terms of execution because you want to be able to continuously taking double peaks or triple peaks or finding the individual advantages the way Marco was able to do in the earlier aspects of the round. Pistol going in favor of the defenders. It's up to the attackers now to try and get some damage done with this next round. The eco gonna come through for them. Actually, noticing the scoreboard, if you take a quick look at it, it is a force buy for the attackers. Purpose Esports really putting a lot on the line here, trying to make their mark very, very early. We'll see if it pays out because it is 5 Spectres for the side of Flamex Serenity. Now, all of Purpose, they've looked up onto this B side. They're going for the push, but the Cypher Tapper revealing them wide. He takes down one, but Samira Kunji and Trolele, they get the return. Now, all of Purpose, they tag down really low because of the grenades and the shock dart. We'll see if the side of Flamex Serenity, they can push through. Even though they have the man disadvantage, the fact that they have full health bars could end up working in their favor. Now Flamex Serenity, they're all grouped up, but I don't think they're aware of this B main lurk by the Cypher of Bola to Bola. But Bola to Bola going down by Marco. Now Marco is going to push in, pick up another gun for himself, realizes that one has no bullets and gets tagged down in the meanwhile. Down to 3 HP, it's VK with another now 2v2. Both members of Flamex low, but VK once again clutch in round 1, clutch in round 2, on point for Flamex Serenity.
VK is an absolute clutch god, it seems. The way he's just able to use the contact being made by every single one of his team members down to absolute fruition. And I honestly thought that lurk coming out from Bola would be the one to just close out the entire match. Mainly because no one saw him, and I do believe that Bola did go in for that peak a bit too early. He should have just waited just a little bit longer, waited for his team to just get a couple of contacts just to give him the information of where the team is going to be at, not checking the side of logs, getting completely caught off guard by Marco going in for that swing. And Marco as well, you have to give it to him in that situation to just hold his ground, make sure his team is taking first contact, and then going in for the swing himself down onto the person on B main, using his teammates' vision and his and the information given by them to great fruition to get that round off the board and also get the advantageous kills. Because that one B main lurk itself could have just closed out the entirety of the defense if Bola was able to get that one goal.
Now, this is gonna be an eco round for Purpose. They went for that buy. As you said, Bola revealing himself a little too early did end up costing them that round. But the way Flamex Serenity, VK especially, able to secure it shows why they're so damn good with this composition that they do prefer. Now, they have the buys through. This should be their round, and already they picked up a kill onto Samira Kunji. All the Purpose grouped up onto this B side. The Reina layer coming in. Once again, they're going for the same push, but they will get revealed. But Emo, double satchel, instant, one tap, gets that first kill. But VK and White, they return it back. Spike drop, advantage to Flamex Serenity.
The advantage, and Bola with another one tap of his own. 5 walks into the Corsair vicinity. And Bola with only 1 HP because of the shock darts coming out from Death Gods. And it's easy though, Emo, it's all gonna be up to him now down at this 1 versus 3 situation. He does get spotted out by the recon bolt. Not much that he can do as Death Gods. Just gets some easy strafes of his own. Jiggles left, jiggles right, and gets the kill down onto Emo. And that, I will have to say, it was an incredible eco round coming out from the side of the attackers. They were able to get a couple of guns out of the hands of the side of the defense, but they're still going to be happy, mainly because you have to remember something. This is going to be a 3-round lead for their side, so they have the win streak bonus in their favor. And now going down onto this 3-0, it's going to be the first buy round for the side of Purpose Esports, and they need to bring it back quick. Otherwise, Sieh, you know what happens when the momentum gets too high for one side.
Yeah, especially when you have a jet on that side, the operator going to come through. If Flamex Serenity can pick up this round, we'll see if Yoda Purpose Esports able to find their advantage and push through. Now they are going for a much more mid-control oriented push. Emo with the boombot trying to get some information out. He is able to spot out the lurk of VK, but doesn't know that Vibe is sitting right there in front of VK. A crossfire established to this market with Pizza as they exchange their recipes. They're just waiting for somebody to walk in, take them down. But you can see the side of Purpose Esports, they're going to be much more slow with their approach, cautiously pushing in. The paranoia came out towards that catwalk angle, and they were able to get the push in, but not able to get into garden just yet because the smokes keep coming out for Marco. He's trying to delay that as much as possible. Purpose, they're waiting for an aggressive peek from Flamex Serenity, but Flamex Serenity, they're disciplined as well. They will not make a foot out of line.
Marco, he may be pushing into his doom, but instead he gets a flick shot. He's looking for some more, gets the first initial headshot on the rival. Takes it out really low with the spray to finish him off as well. It's going to be the side of the defense, and Marco, he's going to be reigning supreme. He does one on Evo as well, but the headshots are not going to be coming on in. It's going to be Evo instead with only 20 HP to work with the first initial kill. But it's going to be VK from the sidelines getting that kill down on the Bola, sending him flying. But with the left on the clock, Sieh, it could be just a bloodbath for all of the members. It's going to be VK taking Tourney with Emo being able to find his refrag, but Vibe's going to be there to take out his twin sister. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be another round on the board for the side of the defense. And they're going to be really happy. And I do believe that Marco, he's going to pick up his operator as well.
Yeah, I do want to see the operator coming out from Marco. It's going to be a really interesting choice if it does, because we've seen him play very aggressively with his peaks. Now with the operator, he can have a lot more agency to do that, find that first kill, dash out of the way, and really just deny any opportunity for Purpose Esports to pull off a comeback here. Now Purpose, this is their eco, but they have a lot of ultimates ready. They could try to make a extremely fast rush happen, but once again, they're stacking onto this B side. The Trapfire is ready for the side of Flamex Serenity to deny this push. The Lear gonna come out, the double satchels on the way. It's Emo pushing in first, the rest of his team trying to find the push in. The Cypher though, he finds the first blood. And now Flamex Serenity, they have an advantage of stepping back. They're letting Purpose Esports take control because you're like, you know guys, you can have the side. We'll have your heads when we come in for the retake.
Knocking them down, and now with the 5 versus 4 retake situation coming on through, just mentally with the Cypher saying good day to you, sir. With his hand tipped off, it's gonna be Marco getting the first kill down on the lane. But it's gonna be Bola to Bola with a double kill of his own. But the Cypher answers back with his own bench, just getting a couple of kills through the sidelines. The Omen answers back with his own twin brother. BK does go down and Evo to try and fend for himself, but it's gonna be Ascent instead to getting that kill down on the Evo, leaving the Omen to try and fend for himself, to try and see if he can get the spike defused. Coming up to the side of the Omen, trying to get the first initial takedown on the Vibe, but he's not gonna be able to find us in defense once again. Even though they lost too many members of Bolas in that first initial skirmish, they were still able to come back even stronger and find the picks. And it's even though both ciphers on these teams are just absolutely cracked today, Sieh.
I mean, if somebody tells Bola, koi bola to bola ko koi bolo bhai ki thoda aaram se khele. What are these headshots? Just absolutely nuts. But at the end of the day, like, you have to acknowledge that it is Flamex Serenity again and again, able to just play perfectly telegraphed in their approach, efficiently picking up round after round after round. Another round in their favor. It's 5-0. The eco in such a snowbally fashion that despite the fact that they lose multiple members on the opponent's eco, they're able to just continuously get the buys once again without really causing much damage to their bank. So now Flamex Serenity, they're in a very comfortable place. It's going to be up to Purpose to pull it back, but Purpose, they used multiple ultimates in that last round. The Showstopper gone, the Hunter's Fury gone, so it's going to be a very difficult task for the bad. Now Marco, he's going to look for the peak, but Samir Kunji with the jiggles, able to take him down, finds the headshot. Can this be the comeback for Purpose Esports? We'll have to see. They're going to go for a fast execute onto A. The push comes in, they're able to get the side control, and now Emo with the plant. But this camera for who's at XNT gonna give so much information, just grabbing snapshots of the entire team of Purpose Esports.
Their last on position, and this camera is still not going to be going on down, but this nade coming up from Evo could be the one that thing that they needed instantly find, and Tourney instead from the sidelines with the Hunter's Fury and the Showstopper to boom. The damage is to be done, ladies and gentlemen, and already the defense, even though they lost one member so early easy. They're able to fight back even harder. Bola gets one kill, but it's gonna be Tourney from the sidelines getting all of the kills, and it's gonna be a clutch coming out from the enemy team Zova. Ladies and gentlemen, Tourney just going absolutely insane in the way he found a lot of these kills. The movement coming out from him was so incredible as well. He first of all jiggled the corner, then got the first initial headshot, went in for the wide swing on the Radiant box and on the side of Generator. The entirety of the defense were not expecting such confidence coming out from the last remaining member of the side of the attack, and they got completely caught off guard because of it.
Yeah, like for Flamex Serenity, I think the start of the retake was really good. But as you said, Trolley, he just like Beast Incarnate just decided to take matters into his own hands, able to secure the entire round for the side of Purpose Esports. Really give them now a purpose as they try to fight back. They have the idea of how they want to pull it through. A very aggressive approach on the cards for them. They're using the utility to create the pockets of control. It's working out. Emo and Rival able to pick up the first bloods. Now going for the plant. It will be the Sova in Trolley getting the plant. The door closed down. Bola to Bola with the kill. Purpose Esports fighting back strong.
It's gonna be a very broken vibe coming out from the side of Flamex Serenity, mainly because I do not see that vibe. He opted to go in for a buy, but the other members did opt to do so nonetheless. And this is
player
in the long
standing.
run because you are breaking up your economy and you cannot go in for full buys as a team. Could be a miscommunication coming out from them, and this could be quite detrimental because this is going to be the second round for the side of the attackers, and PK, he doesn't have any health, he doesn't really have any either. He go up against these four members, but it's gonna be Sam from the sideline getting that kill down to his own twin brother, taking him out immediately from the side of CT. It's gonna be another beautiful round coming out from the side of the attackers, and I do believe that they're able to do this mainly due to how aggressive they are being. Initially, a lot of the rounds that Purpose lost was because they didn't really take pockets of control of the entire map. And this time around, they're showcasing that yes, Purpose, they are taking control over the side of short and also taking control over the side of A long before they go in for side execute. And this basically means that garden control is established, mid control is established, the entire map is under their control, meaning that the defenders, they have to funnel into the sidelines that the teams will establish.
Yeah, now the double updraft to Marco with that Blaze Storm. This is the eco round for the side of Flamex Serenity. Marco, he was trying to find a kill. But now Trolley getting trolled a little bit by Death Gods. He's just bouncing on that recon drone, trying to be like, hey, you know where I am? Come and get me. We'll see if Trolley rises up to the challenge because we certainly know him to be a top tier player. For now, Death Gods, this is what I was talking about. His lineups are on point, knows exactly when to expect a certain player in a certain position and can cause a lot of damage with the shock darts. Able to tag multiple people with the one there. Now gonna force Flamex Purpose Esports to make a call to where they want to go. But Purpose Esports, this is a bait and switch. They're making a lot of noise at me. Look at the map. They're causing all of the rotations to happen. But the Cypher and the, I believe this Omen, yeah, the Cypher and the Omen and Samira Kunji and Bola to Bola, they're sneaking into this A side, but this is why the Cypher is strong. The utility still left. Marco able to pull it back. Those Blade Storm headshots. Marco says Polo, and down goes Purpose Esports.
I don't know what is better, that card or the plays that Marco did in that situation, because ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though Flamex Serenity, they're not giving up a damn thing in this situation. This is the fourth elite for us, but it's Trolley just something else to say about it, with Emo from the sidelines and Rival chiming in as well with his own shot. It's gonna be Uzi getting that first initial kill down on Emo, and Trolley is still alive and he's still kicking. He wants to take them down from under hell. It's gonna be PK to do the little bit of damage, but there's gonna be a Rival with the Empress in hand to just mow him down. That fire rate's gonna be way larger than the fire rate of the Spectre. Takes him out immediately, and that's gonna be another round on the board for the side of the attackers. And it seems as though comeback is in session for the side of Purpose Esports, because now it's on a 5-3 scoreline.
Yeah, that round after Marco got those couple kills and the spike carrier got dropped, you really don't expect it go in the favor of Purpose Esports. But that recon from Trolley with the spam coming out under hell just caught completely all of Flamex Serenity off guard, got a lot of damage and a couple of kills to boot, and really put a lot of pressure into the minds of the side of Flamex Serenity. They're able to get the kills, and then with the help of Rival and Emo, pick up the round in itself as they secure the entire site. Now you can see once again, Purpose, they're being very proactive with their approach, trying to continuously take those pockets of control, pick up those ultogs as much as possible, and get those kills in their favor. They've taken down VK, the Omen, and now with the pressure created by the Cypher, Bola to Bola towards his A site, they're going to go for the complete rotation, find their way into this AX kill.
Bola being the entry fragger, Cypher it seems today. He goes in for the fast peek and he's gonna be able to close the door before he's gonna be able to take out the bolt from the camera. The camera has finally been taken down. No pictures to be taken just yet for the defending Cypher. They're gonna be waiting it out, and Huzen, he's holding down from the side of Pepper. He's probably gonna be able to find one, but Vibe from the sideline with a smash gets one of the bola. I know the troll later, but Evo with a one-tap rated supreme with Rival on his side as well. Rival getting a 3K for himself, leaving Death Gods on this 1 versus 3 scenario. Who's gonna be able to clutch it out? Will it be Playmaker Serenity, or will it be the 3 members on the side of the attack? And it's gonna be Sam coming out from the side of A Long to take out Death Gods with a clean one-tap of his own. And ladies and gentlemen, 4 consecutive round wins. Now the win streak bonus is in the favor of the side of Purpose Esports, and they have the momentum to boot. And now, Sieh, I'm going to be throwing you out this question. What do you think that the side of Flamex Serenity is doing wrong? Do you think that they're opting to go in for a lot of these aggressive peaks, and that's why they are falling in these situations?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the issue does become, though, because, like, Flamex Serenity, they found their advantage because of those aggressive peaks. So now they have to be thinking, like, what we did best is not working out. How do we counter that? And I think the easiest answer to that is to try and set up these triple stacks. Once again, though, you see, that aggressive peak from Vibe being heavily punished by Samira Kunji, Purpose know exactly where to place their crosshair for Flamex Serenity to walk in, and they're again and again punishing them for that. You see, Marco, he's going to take an aggressive peek. Emo was waiting for that, just waiting, gets delivered easily, and now Emo, I think he's gonna look to grab himself a slice, take down that Omen in that pizza. Just gonna throw out the boombot for now, though, not gonna push in aggressively. It really is coming down to this. Oh no, we ended up shadow stepping into that boombot, gave Emo a lot of info, but Emo spraying with the Vandal, that's not something you ever want to do. Misses his shots. Who's at XNT, backs his teammate up, gets the trade kill. That's a couple of guns picked up. Still, it is Purpose with a 2-man advantage. Now with the spike plant looking to make it even Stevens.
DK, he's not healthy whatsoever. 1 HP, and he's probably praying to the gods right now that no one just even blows on him at this point, because he's like a feather in the wind. But it's gonna be Bola the Bola coming out from the sidelines on that lurk, being able to find his twin brother. And VK, he's hunting for Bola to Bola right now, but he may be able to find it, maybe catching him off guard, but Bola to Bola is always ready for it. Purpose, they understand all of the rotations and all of the signature playstyles that are coming out from the members of Flamex Serenity, and I do believe that they're becoming very telegraphed in the way they're owning a lot of their defensive sites. I would expect them to just play it a bit more slower, maybe play at those off angles. Yes, go in for the aggressive peaks from time to time, but opt for jiggles, not really for the full commits. And Flamex Serenity, if they're continuing to do this, they're going to have a really rough time, especially now with 5 consecutive rounds for the side of the attacker's Purpose. They have the... they have all of the sidelines in their bag, and they understand what exactly the side of the defender is trying to do. I do believe they're often going towards a much more slower playstyle as we expected.
Yeah, their slower playstyle is really what we want from them. Marco picking up the operator. He's going to take a much more defensive angle, holding down that garden area. But now you can see Purpose Esports, they've got a lot more confidence under their belt. They're pushing in aggressively, taking mid control. It is Evo now holding down that cubby, waiting for the rest of his team to try and find some pick or maybe even create some pressure before he moves in. But the dark cover coming out to deny that CT sightline. It is Emo with the aggressive peek. But this is why we wanted Flamex Sanity to hold on. They pick up 1 kill. Now Samira Kunji moving through the smoke, trying to take down Vibe, but Vibe able to turn his rocket around on time. Puts the fire in the right hole, and he will pick up the kill for Flamex Serenity. Give them a 2-man advantage. And just when things are getting really dire, after a 5-round lose streak, it looks like Flamex Serenity, they've got their confidence back, they've got their mojo back, and now are pushing back strong.
still. It seems as though Purpose, they're playing a little bit slower on their own accord as well. Not really pushing up much. But it's gonna be VK from the sidelines trying to get that first kill. He does get the bola, but Marco chimes in on Cholele, taking him out. It is gonna be a rival on his lonesome trying to fend for himself, but it's gonna be Dead Gods going in for that swing from the side of CT, immediately taking him out.
Last
And that's gonna
round
be
in
another
the
round on
half.
the board for the side of the defense. And they are finally understanding how to go up against Purpose. They're playing it slow, they're playing it smart, and they are able to get the picks that they need to. It's gonna be another beautiful round coming out from the side of the defense. But now, Sieh, you have given up over 5 rounds to the side of the attack, and now you're fighting for that 7-5 scoreline. Yes, this is going to be the last round, and whichever team wins it, it's either going to go to a clean slate on a 6-6 or a 7-5 in the favor of the side of the defense. Now, on the side of your attack, do you believe that they will be a little bit weaker or a little bit stronger because of the composition?
I think having seen Flamex Serenity, I do think they're a bit more comfortable on attack, but at the same time, Purpose, they have so much utility to deal with when they are on defense themselves, and using that utility become just a little bit easier. So I think it is very close between these two teams, and will come down to pure outplays. We'll see though now, aggressive aim and push, bola to bola, that Gods each exchanging a kill for their team, meaning now 4v4 on the cards. It's wide though, what was that headshot? Jiggles, finds bola to bola, takes him down, makes it 4v3. Focuses Purpose to take it much slower in this round, but Purpose, they're not going to back down. They're pushing in aggressively towards the end. The dark cover as well as the Leer coming down, but in the smoke, vibe shows how you play in the shadows. Picks up one, the grenade to pick up another. He's going for the third, but Rival, what were those kills? Rival on the Reyna, can push through, has his Empress looking to just push them down. He's gonna end up going into this hell area himself. He has
30
the
seconds
spike,
left.
so he can go for the plant, but doesn't know that both of the players are up towards the heaven. He's now gonna go for the peak, find the Cypher. That's one down. Rival now in a 1v1. Rival versus VK. Rival gonna go for the plant. The right decision made here, but VK, he's going for the peak. Rival, you need to look back here. Rival not looking back, but VK whiffs the shots. VK not landing the shots on a back target, meaning that Rival knows exactly where he is, and this could be hell to pay for VK.
BK, he's now on the side of heaven. He did go for a couple of his own pop shots, but the spike timer, it's gonna be taken on down, and Rivals Empress is gonna be taking on down as well. He's gonna be losing his overheal as well. He only has 100 HP to work with, and if BK opts to go in for just his normal plays, but Rival, he has absolute will of steel. He knows for a fact of when to check and how to check. The dark cover is gonna be coming on through. Rival, he's not gonna be able to go in for the peak just yet, and Rival so clean with his game sense. His positioning was just so good as well. Purpose Esports, they're showcasing what exactly they can do, and Rival with the 4K, so disgusting with his own headshots. Vibe was vibe checking everyone by giving them a couple of headshots and knocks on the head, being like, I don't like your vibe, so I'm gonna be taking it on. But Rival's like, what did you say to me? What did you say to my team? Pops out with his own headshots and with his own big brain plays. The way he played under Hell CA, that was absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, just very calm with this approach. The 1v2 especially, right? Knew that the likely angles were either the switch entrance from the door or the rafters itself. Played it very close to the hell entrance, able to slowly get the push on through those tiny blocks to get the peak towards that heaven area, get the kill, and then get the plant playing that 1v1. I do believe VK, you need to land those shots when Rival isn't turned towards you. Happens though sometimes when you're not able to get the perfect shot off, ends up missing those shots and gives Rival so much time to reposition himself in that hell area, wait for the diffuse for VK and take him down. The timing on the waiting on the diffuse too, he waited about like a couple of seconds to see if VK did go for the fake, because generally after one fake, you expect the player to go in for the real or second fake diffuse once again, and that couple of noise can tell you, hey, is he doing the fake or not? The fact that he doesn't hear anything come out tells him that it's likely that VK going for the full diffuse, goes for the peak, picks up the round 6-6. We might be in for our first overtime here.
This could very much be possible. Now these two teams are gonna be on clean slate, 6-6 on the scoreboard, so they're gonna be happy moving on forward into their following rounds. And now with the pause timer going off as well, ladies and gentlemen, this could be anyone's game at this point. It's either FlameX Serenity or Purpose Esports moving on forward. And Now, on the pistol round, I am looking forward to a much more of a utility-based meta coming out from the side of Purpose, mainly due to the fact that they have the Raze, they have the Reyna, so using the Leers to just stop a push rather than themselves trying to go in for a push, because normally the execution coming out from the side of Flamex Serenity is going to be a lot more of those fast execute rushes, less about map control. So if they're just able to play it smart and play it slow, I do believe that the entirety of the side of the defense, they have the advantage moving on forward, because if they can dictate the pace of the fight using their own utility, they're not really going to be having any sort of a hard time against the fast execute rushes that we expect to come out from the side of Flamex Serenity.
Now you can see Purpose Esports are going to play much more passive than Flamex on this defense. Flamex are not going to take things slow whatsoever. They have opted for a very cautious approach to this catwalk, but already 30 seconds into the round, they've taken control over this catwalk area. Now, why he gets tagged out by the camera though, has to take the dart out and will end up revealing his position. But with the smokes coming out for Garden and mid control being taken by Flamex Serenity, is Deadgods and Marco pushing in again and again, looking for the pick. They will end up finding Trolele here. Now Deadgods, he's going for the peak. He'll take down Trolele, and that mid control is so huge because you can see on the minimap, it forces the side of Purpose Esports to go back. Bola to Bola has to contest with Marco and Deadgods, and Deadgods with the shock that able to take down another, allow for free entry for his team into the A side. Marco and Deadgods show us exactly why mid control is so damn important on the set.
Ready, it's gonna be Vibes from the sidelines getting a kill of his own. Vibe checking everyone from the side of Purpose Esports. But it seems as though their vibes are not vibing with him, as he's going to be able to take them out. But at the same time, it is going to be a 3 versus 2 situation, opting to go in for this retake. It's going to be playing Consider and coming on through, but Vibe! Those headshots reigning supreme! The way he does fight it all is absolutely incredible as well. The nades are going to be coming on through. Trying to stop Emo to go in from a push, and Vibe once again, with his goals, gets another headshot down onto his twin sister. And ladies and gentlemen, Vibe on this Raze is just absolutely a treat to watch. The way he just hits those headshots, Sieh, that is just chef's kiss level of accuracy.
Yeah, Vibe is just, he's feeling it, you know? He's in the right mood, in the right setting, and he's really feeling it as he tries to push the side of Purpose Esports further. But for me, like Marco and Deadgods, even though they didn't really get the kills in terms of like the real heroics in that round, the pressure they're able to create in that mid area, Deadgods getting that aggressive kill, able to cause so much damage to the side of Purpose's defense, because they had to leave their Rafters area, they had to go and contend with them, and it allowed for Flamex Serenity an easy push onto A side. Picking up this pistol now, the buy is coming through for Flamex Serenity. Why? He picked up a triple, so he has a full buy, a Vandal and full shields, and that Vandal can be the X factor as Flamex Serenity. They look to consolidate their lead. Now already they found the first blood, now stacking up onto this B side, going for an aggressive push, but you can see the Cypher, who's at XNT with the help of VK, going for a rotate onto A. The members of Flamex Serenity left in this B side to cause the damage, and they're causing a lot of damage. 3 members of Purpose just stuck in this B side. The rotation now decided and finalized. It's Flamex Serenity on their way to A.
Flamex, they're gonna have an easy time going down on this A side, but at the same time, you have to remember Bola the Bola, he's just chilling out on the side of Garden, and he may just be able to do a little bit of damage of his own. Never in that situation, but it's gonna be Bola to Bola doing so much damage onto Deadgods. He wants to try and get that skill, and he's gonna be able to fight it as well. Even though the paranoia stops him out, Evo from the sideline get down onto Marco, but Vibe is finally able to take out the pest that is Bola to Bola. So he cannot be a nuisance to their side anymore, but still, it is going to be a 3 versus 3 situation, opting to go in for that retake. Vibe, he has a Vandal in his hand, and this Vandal is going to be so important. Everyone's going to be walking on in. Vibe, he doesn't spot out the head of Rival as they're walking down from the side of mid. Evo's going to be able to go in for a full rotation down on the alongside, and this first fight onto Rival and Vibe, it's going to be Vibe instead getting the first initial kill. And this could just be all but over, because the side of the defense, have any guns to work with. Only classics to do the deed. And with the spike timer going on down, Trolele getting taken out as well by DK with that Spectre. It's gonna be Evo finally being able to take out his twin sister. And DK also gets taken down at Evo. He gets a Vandal for himself. He's gonna be super happy. And nearly gets taken out as well by Uzin, but he's gonna be able to save the Vandal for another day. So ladies and gentlemen, I will say the side of the defense on that Eco, they win out heavily.
4 deaths plus the Vandal save. The Purpose Esports, they're feeling hella good about that round. At the same time, though, Flamex Serenity, they will be happy that they did end up securing the round, and going into the next, they will try to push through with their own buys. Now, for both of the teams, a heavy investment done into this round, but for Purpose Esports, a slightly better weaponry, as who's at XNT, he has to carry the Spectre and Marco with the light shields. You see Rival already going for the aggressive peek down catwalk. He picks up one, and as soon as they get one peek, the discipline comes in. They're all gonna step back, wait for the push from Flamex Serenity. Purpose very, very strong with their approach here. Flamex Serenity, they're gonna have to figure out how exactly they can really break this armor, penetrate this fort, because right now, Purpose, they know exactly how they want to approach this defensive half.
Now, this time around, we do see that Flaming Serenity, they're playing it quite slow, trying to establish some control while leaving the Cypher on the lurk. Because one member going down on their side, and that is a very good number as well, but they're not checking their corners properly, and not taking the side of CT. Was an extra beautiful spray control coming up from Rival. Firstly, the one tap, and then the spray control. They are showcasing what they can do when they have those rifles in hand. And Jordan Lay from the sidelines getting that kill down on the PK as well to take out the spike area. It's gonna be a flawless round coming out from the side of the defense. And that was a beautiful defensive hold as well. I would expect that coming out from the side of VK, there was going to be a smoke near the side of CT, but no smokes coming on through. And they tried to walk down into this B sight line, not really checking CT as well, thinking that no one would be holding it. Rival, understanding the fact that no smokes are coming out, basically means that they are wanting to walk down into this B side, held down the angle from CT, got the pop shots that he needed to, got the first initial kill down onto Marco, and with beautiful spray control as well, getting that second kill down onto the Sova, just showcasing what he can do when he has the rifles in his hand and when he has his team to back him up. Once again, coming out on top, it is going to be Purpose Esports, taking us down to this 8-7 scoreline. And even Stevens hopefully moving on forward, because you have to remember, Sieh, this is going to be the eco round for the side of the attackers.
Yeah, it really is not a good sign. A bad omen, one could say, when your controller goes down at the very starting stages of the round and you have no smokes to work with. And for the attackers, it becomes that much more difficult. But now you can see an eco rush coming up. And Samir Akunji, he's like, thank you for the lineup. I'll take the triple. Trolele backing him up is Samir Akunji with the fourth. He's going to be a bit disappointed he didn't get the ace, but he's going to be happy that now 8-8 on the cards. His team, they're fighting back, really looking damn strong as they look to contend their way to the finals. We saw a 6-6 first half, an 8-8 second half, a really quick round here. I think we're definitely set up for overtime aggressive. What do you think? Do you think one of these teams can find an edge? Do you think Purpose can be more comfortable in defense and win out the second half, or is overtime just written in the books?
Overtime could be very much possible, mainly because of one important thing. Flaming Serenity, they're a team that take a little while to adapt to the strategies that are coming out from the side of Purpose Esports, but at the same time, when they do understand, when they're able to adapt, they adapt so well that they cast the entirety of Purpose off guard, and I'm looking to see this coming out from them, especially in that last round where Sam was holding a much more of the one-off angle, sitting behind the side of Cuppy. He was betting on the fact that they were going to be actually going for a hard rush down from the side of Short. He threw out the paranoia, caught out 3 people, and then went in for that spray down. That is a type of play you can only do when you understand how your opponents are playing a lot of the rounds. And Flaming Serenity, if they want to take this overtime, or if they want to just take us to match point even, they need to adapt constantly, and they need to adapt really quickly. Not having any form of adaptation in your plays are going to be making you very easy to read when it comes to your opponents, and giving that chance to Purpose is not something that you want to do, especially on rounds like this. It's going to be 5 getting caught out by 1, and with the swing coming out from Emo, it's going to be Emo getting the first initial kill down on Divide. One member has gone down already, but the side of the attack, they fight 2 as well from the sideline, one of the Rival and one of the Troll in day. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fast push coming out from the side of Serenity onto this B side.
Now side control already taken. Flamex Sanity, they just need to get the plant through, but the spike is just making its way onto B main. The spam coming through from purpose as they try to hold on, but Death Gods with the shock dart takes down Emo and secures this two-man advantage. You said it, aggressive. Flamex Serenity, they're a team that takes a little bit of time to adapt, but once they adapt, they're able to do it really well, and this round is a perfect example of that. Causing noise all over the map, then going for the bait and switch. Now they're able to get this B-side control. It will be up to Samir Kunji and Bola to Bola to push in. ये तो पूछ लूंगा बोला तो बोला, can you pull off the clutch? He cannot. A crossfire setup. It's Marco with one and VK with another. Flamex Serenity, once again, they take the lead, and that is something that I have continuously noticed, because despite Purpose looking really strong, despite Purpose pulling it back every single time we get to an even scoreline, it is Flamex Serenity taking the lead. And as soon as they're able to do that in a back-to-back fashion, they might just edge it out towards the end.
One thing that I would like to highlight coming out from the side of Flamex Serenity is, from the side of Purpose, we see a lot more of those one-off shows. Let's say one of the members pulls out a 4K or let's say 3K, and we see a one-man killing for their side. But for the side of Flamex Serenity, we see them coordinating together as a team. A lot of rounds that they do win out, it's not because of one person just popping the hell off, just taking off heads constantly. It's all of the members of the team coming down together and then getting the kills on their own accord. And that is what I want to see coming out from the side of Purpose as well. Yes, your members are extremely talented, but how far can you go when only one of your members are showcasing a lot of talent when it comes to just getting those defensive holds? And if they want to try and take this away from the side of Flamex Serenity, because the way that Flamex is just adapting in the way that they're playing as a team, in the long run, I do believe that the strat book for the side of Purpose is going to be running on dry because of the teamwork and coordinated plays that we are seeing coming out from the side of Serenity.
Now, you can see a much more split up approach for Flamex Serenity. It is that God's causing a lot of pressure down in that B main angle. Marco holding down the mid. Marco, he's going to find a 1v1. Will not be able to actually escapes in the right time. Now will group up with his team as they push in. That God's is causing so much pressure down at this B side. And Vibe now going into the ultimate. They're going for this A side push. That God's able to cancel out the rotation of Rival. He's going to pick up one. And while Samira Kunji is able to get another, look at the positioning of this Sova on Flamex Serenity here. That God's on a huge flank. He's going to delay Purpose for so long. Now Samira Kunji, he's going in. He's able to find one. VK with from the shadows repositions himself though. Now Trolele and all the Purpose, they're in for the retake, but That God's ready with the Hunter's Fury. Gonna pop it out to delay the plunge. From the garden area, he's pulling out all the stops to win this round, but Purpose Esports, they're dancing around that Hunter's Fury, getting the kills, and now looking for the defuse. That Gods will get taken down by Bola to Bola. And what a nice round from Purpose. The only way to escape that flank from Death Gods is to aggressively push in on the retake, to take control of the site and force Death Gods in a situation where he's basically 1v3 without any real surprise factor in his favor. That's exactly what Purpose did. These teams, they are on point. Purpose, though, they take the cake. They'll make it even once again. Let's see if they can find their first lead, though, in this next round.
Purpose is so fast when it comes to adapting, and I do believe that this is why I was hoping that even though Serenity are able to adapt, they adapt a lot more of the slower pace in comparison to the side of Purpose. And if this keeps on going, overtime may be harder to reach, because Serenity, they need to be a lot more quicker, and they need to use the strategies a lot more often. Because Purpose, they're not really budging an inch when it comes to a lot of these strategic plays. Because you saw in the round previously, I was stating that we saw a lot of individual plays coming out from the side of Purpose, and this time around, the entire team just came in together, cleared out a lot of the sidelines, went in for the peaks with a lot of their teammates. And if this comes on through, I do believe that Serenity, they're going to have a lot more of a harder time when it comes to a lot of their side executions, because they are split up all over the map trying to take these pockets of control. But if one member goes down, it's going to be all over for their strategy. And I do believe it's going to be a rush down onto this B side with Marco trying to find something, but it's going to be Idle instead coming out from the side and getting the first initial kill. And on the back of side, it's going to be Emo getting one of the Death Gods, but gets traded out immediately. But Samira Kunji from the silence gets a one down onto the Cypher, who's not really going to be happy about that, but still. It's going to be PK and Vibe trying to find something for his team, but it's going to be Samira Kunji from the sidelines getting a one onto his twin brother. VK goes down already, leaving time on his shoulders to try and fend for himself, but it's going to be Tourney with his movement and his spray control to take him out, and it's going to be a 9 and 10 scoreline for the side of Purpose. And Sieh, I think that is going to be coming into fruition, the thing that I stated before.
Yeah, I mean, we did wonder if Purpose can find their first lead of this map, and they do exactly that. What I particularly like about the way they're playing is that they're using the Sentinel as an enabler for their team. That trap fire down at mid, though it doesn't seem like a lot, the amount of pressure it's able to just create by being there, allowing for a 3-stack on a particular site, gains a lot of utility for their team as a whole. Because then for Playmaker Serenity, you really just have to either walk into the trap fire or walk into a 3-stack, and it becomes very difficult for attackers without flashes to execute on that basis. Now Playmaker Serenity, they're grouping up onto this B side. The drone was coming out for that Gods, but instantly denied by the grenade. He has to cancel it, just back up. And now the recon coming in for Purpose, they spot all of them out. They're gonna force them onto the rotate. Purpose, they've held on beautifully, and the eco round of Playmaker Serenity, that rush really not working out, meaning now with the options reevaluated, they'll have to go somewhere else now. They are able to tag VK down, Samira Kunji down really low, but Bola to Bola with the off. He's holding it down. Samira Kunji was just a bait. Now in the shadows, Samira Kunji and Bola to Bola, they'll decimate all of Playmaker Serenity.
The Cypher with the operator, that is something that I didn't think I was ever gonna say, but this Cypher with the operator is gonna be dangerous. What the Bola? He comes in with the flex shots and with the shots of his own. The movement coming out from him is so clean as well, constantly repositioning. First of all, we saw him near the door. He got the first initial kill down onto Marco, immediately went in for the rotation onto the side of guard and gets the second kill down onto VK. Then he ran down into a back of site, got paranoid out in generator. He goes back, goes in for a peek from far back of side of the generator, and catches who's an off guard as well. The rotations coming out from this Cypher is the pinnacle of what an opera should be. Mainly constantly changing your position, constantly keeping your opponents guessing on where you're going to be actually popping out with an operator. He's showcasing what he can do, but he's doing it on a Cypher, so it's kind of iffy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Bola to Bola saw the Season 2 cinematic. He's like, let me show you how a Cypher actually uses the operator. As I said, picking up another kill. Trolele with his ultimate, Samira Kunji with one more. This was the buy round of Playmaker Serenity, but they're getting obliterated. Bola to Bola, more like Mara to Mara. Now Takla, he's gonna get his hat off. 5 versus 1, the match point on the cards for Purpose Esports. That Godzo, he's trying to fight back. He's found one, has the spike too, so can go for the rotate. And the grenade pushing him out will make him do that, but he's getting revealed. The ultimate coming out. That goes, he's trying to run away. The recon here to stop the aggressive push of White, but the flank, it's coming in for Rival. That goes, you're cornered on every single angle. You have nowhere to go. You're gonna have to pull off some insane shots. But he gets revealed, and Purpose Esports, they're just waiting. Like, that gods, come meet your death.
And already Rival's gonna be right
30
on
seconds
behind
left.
him. Rivals, he's just waiting. Every single angle has been covered, and there is no way, no place for him to run whatsoever. Rival with a beautiful off angle of his own accord. And that Gods, he's just chilling. He knows for a fact that someone's gonna be right on behind him.
Revealing
And soon
area.
enough, it's gonna be a fast push coming up from that Gods to try and find something. More than from the spray, that's gonna be Evo instead, using the contact being made by his teammates because of the recon bolt. In that situation, to go in
Match
for the
point.
swing and get the kill for himself. And that's gonna be match point, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Purpose Esports. And I stated this before as well. Serenity, they can adapt, but they adapt at a much more slower pace in comparison to the side of Purpose Esports, and that is why their downfall is going to be coming on through on this 9 and 12 scoreline. They need to adapt quickly, and they need to adapt now. But Sieh, they do not have any buys in their favor. Looking at their money, they have absolutely nothing, opting to go for these Spectres, and with only Death Gods being to buy that Vandal. This is going to be dark.
Definitely, we'll see if though they can make it work, pull it off and keep themselves alive. Purpose though, they have a singular purpose in this round. It is to close off the map right here, right now, with that eco advantage in their favor. And Emo gonna start them off right, pick up that first blood. Now Playmaker Serenity, they did really well to get into this site and get the spike planted, but they do not have enough time to get their post plants, so it's going to be a really difficult task holding on. We'll see if they're able to do that, because now you can see all the purpose grouped in towards the fringes. They're going to push in. They know to expect a lurker towards that B main. Looking to that angle, it's VK. He's going to pick up one. Now VK spamming through. VK picks up another. This lurk coming up huge for this Omen. Will not be able to pick up the third, but cause a lot of damage. Now Tourney looking for more. He will push in, and Samira Kunji finding another. Marco and that's all. They trade it out. No, it's 1v1. Bola to bola with Marco. The spike timer running out. The round will go to Flaming Serenity.
Flaming Serenity, such a beautiful game plans coming out of them to go in for that fast rush down onto this B side, knowing for the fact that they went onto that A side a lot more frequently. They went in for the fast rush, knew for a fact that, hey, maybe we can take that gamble that not really a lot of the members are going to be holding down on this B side, because they know for a fact that we don't really have our full buys, and we're going to be opting to take a lot more of the slower approach instead of the fast rush approach that we normally try to execute down onto this A side. And the gamble really played off. They found an almost empty B side with only one member holding it down. They're able to rush down that member, take him out, but still, with Emo taking the first initial kill, they were still able to hold down the sideline because they forced the enemies to come down into their own Corsair vicinities. And
oh my god.
Play it slow, but Bola, he just comes in so massive. With Samira Kunji coming out from the sidelines as well to make sure his teammate is going to be backed up, even though he does get taken out. The contact being made by Bola was more than enough, but Uzen from the sidelines gets that kill down on the Samira Kunji, takes it down to his 2 versus 3 situation. It's going to be VK and Uzen to try and close out this round, but all the members on the side of the defense, they're going to be rushing on in to if they can go in for the retake. And now, who's going to be coming out on top? Is it going to be the defense, or is it going to be the attackers? Flying Emo coming out from the sidelines, and there's not much that they can do as Rival takes down Uzen and Trolley takes down VK. It's going to be GG, WP, ladies and gentlemen, with Purpose Esports. They're winning out on the map of Ascent.
Defenders win.
13-10 Purpose Esports. They set the date with Rebellious Gaming in the grand finals. They're going to be your team moving on. And what a brilliant map we saw from both of these teams. But Purpose, they're just able to edge them out. Bola. Those shots were nasty, man. But you see exactly why both of these teams, they deserve our praise, because Vibe, he's the one on top of that leaderboard. Despite having lesser kills, the ACS is higher for Vibe because all the damage and the first blood he's able to get. Vibe on point for Flamex Serenity. Purpose Esports. So as you said, they just
Good game,
adapted
guys,
a
good
little
game.
bit faster. They had a little more synergy, and today
Have fun,
was
good luck,
the
guys.
day that they felt a little stronger. They're able to push through, get the win in their favor. Damn, that was a good map, Aggressive. Going into the grand finals, I think we have a really close matchup between Purpose and Rebellious Gaming.
That is for sure, because Purpose, the thing that came out from them, yes, they had a pretty rough start, but they were able to come back even stronger and even faster when it came to their following rounds, and especially on their defensive half. They just went to show us that when it comes to utility usage, they are the kings. The way that they're able to use the utility to set up their teammates to go in for a lot of these aggressive pushes just goes to show that Purpose Esports as a team, they have a lot of synergy and a lot of dedication in the way that they're just playing on a lot of their sidelines. And I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to be facing off against Rebellious, because Sieh, you know what happens when that team gets fired up.
Definitely, but before we get to that, we have a giveaway for all of you guys in the chat. It is the jersey giveaway time. Now, I'll give you a quick 30 seconds to quickly share everywhere. Get your friends on ASAP before we start the giveaway itself. The keyword, as you guys might have known from yesterday, will be Hive OP. So when I give you the word, I want to see HYVEOP just all through the chat, every single person saying that. But for now, share it really quick, like the stream, show your support, because this is going to be one of 2 giveaways we do today. It's okay if you don't manage to win it here, because there'll be another one in the grand finals that you can make it to. Now, let's go quickly spam Hive OP in the chat. Get that giveaway started. Let's get going. Let's see who wins that free jersey. It looks really damn cool, and I know I want one for sure. So whoever does win it, I'm going to be jealous of you.
He's going to be stealing it out from you, maybe. Maybe not. Of course, the casters are not going to be fighting for the jersey today, but still, we're going to be fighting for it soon enough, hopefully in the grand finals. But still, moving on forwards, everyone get the spam down and get all of the shares, because the more people who come on in, the better this giveaway is gonna be. So let's just wait and see who's gonna be winning it out this time around.
So, I mean, at this point, like while we figure out who the winner is, I want to thank all of you for coming to this stream, and a huge thank you to the team as well, and Aggressive for coming today to cast. We are going to be closing it off with the grand finals today, and I want you guys to tell us what were the favorite parts you found about the Team Mahi Community Cup, and what you think could have been different coming into the future iterations. Because the idea is to continuously just make it better and better for you. You like just help the community grow as a whole, give a new space for all these up and coming youngsters to come and show off their play, try and make it into the esports career. I think Aggressive, especially since considering like how much we see the morale go down for specific teams, like this sort of tournament to allow like the younger, newer players to play is really important, don't you think?
That is really important. And normally you want to build an experience in these smaller scale tournaments and then go up to the big leagues. And this is really important for a lot of the teams to understand that, hey, even if you lose out on tournaments, it is a learning experience. You need to learn from your opposition how they actually played, how they were able to go up for a lot of these fights. And that is super important, to say the very least. And hopefully, like, even though Team Serenity lost, I saw a lot of potential in them, and they can become one of the best teams in the entirety of our region if they put their mind to it. And now, hopefully, moving on forward, we see them in the upcoming following tournaments even stronger than before.
And the winner is going to be announced really soon. But before that, hit that like button. Get us to 700 likes right now, guys. Come on, we can do it. You know exactly. The winner is going to come out right about now, I believe. Let's see who it is. It is Sieh Akshit. Sieh Akshit, if you're in the chat, let us know your Insta username in the chat. Tag at Team Mahi and put your Insta username. Send it a couple times just so it's not missed. But congratulations, Sieh Akshit. You get yourself a free jersey. It's a really cool jersey, the Jet and the Omen, both of the ones. So I'm really excited for you to be able to put that on, show your support for the official Team Mahi. Now, guys, hit that like button before we go set ourselves up for the grand finals soon to come. Aggressive, any last words to all of our viewers? Mhm.
Make
Guys,
sure you
yeah, go.
continue.
Just the link will be coming out, so make sure you set the reminder as well. Make sure you're there at the grand finals, because there'll be one more jersey. It's okay if you lost third here. There's one more jersey giving away and a lot more giveaways in the Instagram link as well as the Twitter link. You can find all of it there. Now, Aggressive, as you're saying, any final words for all of our brilliant viewers?
Final words. Make sure you're here at the grand finals, otherwise both me and Sieh will be sad. So make sure you set the date, you set the
Facts.
reminder, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be one hectic final. It's gonna be Purpose versus Rebellious.
We'll if as a teenager you want to have purpose in your life or you want to be a rebel, which
Oh my God.
side will win out, we will know soon enough. But hey, thank you everyone for coming. Make sure you set that reminder. Congratulations, Sieh Akshit, for winning. We'll go give ourselves a small break, give the team a small break as well, and catch you at shop 8 for the grand finals. Set that reminder, and we'll be able to see you there. And now going in, this is the Team Mahi Community Cup. We'll see you at 8. Team Mahi Community Cup powered by Zotac Gaming and Corsair, powered by Hive. We'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.